Welcome to Fox Netball. It's game one, round one of the Suncorp Super Netball season. And we're here on Wurundjeri country at John Cain Arena. I'm Bianca Chatfield, and joining me in commentary today is Kimberly Green, former New South Wales Swifts, former Giant, former Diamond. We're so lucky to have you here with us in Melbourne. You must be pretty excited to see what the Swifts can produce.
Well, I'm surprised you let me in on a derby.
We love you.
On a New South Wales Victorian derby. Yeah, I'm so excited to be here. I really love playing here. Now I get to sit here and watch these two teams go head to head, and they're wanting a great start to start us off for the 2023 season. So it'll be interesting to see what happens.
Let's take a look at the Woolworths team cards, how both teams are lining up. There is a few surprises when we look at who is lining up for the Magpies and the Swifts. We know there's been some changes because temporary replacement players coming in. We have Sophie Garvin at goal attack, but Kelly Singleton on the bench for the Magpies, who is a replacement player for Nia Allen.
And a former New South Wales player. So it's a really interesting one that she's been given the nod to the Magpies fold. And will we see her today? I think we will. I think they will need to rotate against the Swifts and their defensive structures of Clow and Turner. So yeah, I think that versatility down there is going to be important for the Magpies.
And then if we take a look at the other team, the New South Wales Swifts, both teams, it was a draw at Team Girls Cup. They did pretty well, but they head-to-head, it's hard to pick them. But Romelda Aiken-George making her debut. What a champion she's been for the Fibers, and now we see her take the court for the Swifts.
And Bryony Aiken must be so happy with that phone call that she made to Romelda at the time. And it's a huge step to go and take your whole life down to New South Wales. Your new baby Gianna down with you as well. But from all accounts that they've just embraced her, embraced Gianna. She's one of the team, and yeah, she's really thriving. And I think we saw that at Team Girls Cup, and I think we'll see that throughout the season until Sammy Wallace is ready to come back in.
And it's the combination, isn't it, between an Aiken-George and a Housby. That's what really excites me. We didn't get to see a whole lot of it. And then add in Fawns, who's such an experienced player now compared to what she was last season.
Yeah, and a lot of us talked about Housby, and you know, she wasn't up to her normal standard last year, but have a look at all the changes that were happening around her as well, and you've got to take that into account. So now with a solid lineup with Romelda Aiken-George, a tall underneath the post, exactly what they're used to, I think we'll see her performance go a little bit stronger from 2022.
We can see Nat Avellino on screen and Bryony Ankle. Nat Avellino been upgraded from specialist coach to assistant coach for the New South Wales Swifts, also a former Diamond. That's going to be really helpful, you would think, too. Just a change in thinking as well.
And from all accounts, these two get along like a house on fire. I can only imagine what they're saying on the sideline together. But yes, I think she's a great inclusion in that attack end, especially in that shooting circle. When they had Fawns, who just came in last year, she was really nurturing for her. So to see her again being there, but then also upgraded into that assistant coach, as you said, it just brings that a complete different element. She's allowed a little bit more license to go and coach a little bit more, be a bit more creative. So I'm interested to see what she does with that attack lineup.
And one thing we spoke about in the pre-game, which surprises me greatly, is that the New South Wales Swifts, you look at the stats, you love your stats, Kim, New South Wales Swifts haven't been able to beat the Magpies.
It blows my mind.
Since 2017 on this court.
Well, and isn't that just such a, a fortress for the Magpies to come into this game? And we know that they don't start well. So is this the game that they start well? Well, stats are telling us that they're going to win. So it'll be interesting to see what Swifts are going to put out here and make sure that they get that confident start.
You can hear the crowd getting louder as Shimona Nelson for the Magpies comes out on court. She's lining up at goal shooter. I've been really impressed with what she's been able to produce, not just last season, but she's just a stronger version of herself.
Well, she can be shaky on the catch, so I really think that she's been working in the off-season on getting her hands around that ball, and it's not just about the lifted ball, it's those hard peppered balls that come in, especially from Ash Brazel in particular. She peppers them in, so getting her hands around it, very important.
Well, we're not far away from the first centre pass for season 2023. Molly Jovic with the ball, starting us off for the Magpies. Here we go, Kimmy.
Contact goal defence, centre third.
Quick take from Garvin, puts it down. Easy penalty for the Magpies to reset.
Barney obstruction when you fans. Barney's offside centre, Barney's offside.
Nelson putting her arm up early with the offensive contact on Garvin. Not the best start from the Magpies.
We know the Swifts, they love their possession game. They're happy to work it around. Let's see if that's what their game plan is in 2023. Turner finds Hadley over the top. Aiken-George for her first goal in the red.
Well, there it is. Gosh, that would have been on her shoulders coming into this game. She would want to have a good start. And again, putting her hands strongly up in the air. That connection between Proud, Hadley and Aiken-George is going to be pivotal.
And the first shot for Housby. Aiken-George playing in her 197th game. Nearly about to crack the 200. Brown to Garvin.
Contact centre, advantage offside.
Jovic searching for options.
Contact goalkeeper with the goal shooter.
Keep an eye on that battle between Paige Hadley and Ash Brazel. Oh, and keep an eye on Jodie Ann Ward. Oh, Paige Hadley. Balls are flying everywhere.
Well, she had a good crack at that. She thought she was onside, looked at the umpire. It was a good one to go and have a look at, especially after throwing that turnover. Paige Hadley doesn't normally throw those, so she would have been dirty at herself.
Do we come to expect this for a first game of the season? Is the intensity different?
It is. That first 5 minutes of your first game, it feels like you're breathing in ice. It hurts as Shimona Nelson gets that first goal in. What I love about the first game, it really is about cat and mouse. These first 5 minutes, trying to figure out what they're going to do. Players putting their body on the line, trying to stamp their authority.
Brown spots Nelson, doesn't want to give it. Garvin again.
And we can see the split circle here from Clow and Turner in the circle. Garvin staying out of the circle to try and draw them off. Neither of them going.
And Nelson for her third of the game. Let's cross over to the sideline. Maddie Brown is joining us.
Oh, you talk about intensity, as you said, the first 5 minutes, there's a few little errors from both teams, but it's now about settling. Oh, Jiva Mentor getting her first little tip for the game. In attack for the Magpies, as you mentioned, Garvin hanging out a little bit. It'd be great to see her get in, sweep, draw those double defenders off Nelson so the feeders can hopefully isolate that and get a nice, easy feed in a little bit earlier.
The Magpies out by 2. So far, the start that they've wanted and they've probably been searching for all last season.
A fluent attack from the Magpies so far. You can see Jovic really starting to stamp her authority. She almost did a triple play to the top of the circle. And now that wall on the centre pass.
Swing attack on the circle.
Stifling from the Magpies.
Contact, the wing.
Oh, Brazel sneaks around. Can't quite secure it. Proud gets another attempt. Housby straight to Aiken-George.
Magpies. Bodies breaking attack.
Advantage contact centre.
Brown out on her own on the centre pass. Straight to Nelson. It doesn't get much better than that from the Magpies.
And that's the feed they need to keep looking for, that long ball, because then it puts the defenders on notice. Hey, you need to keep on your game. So early start from Brown, seeing that vision.
100% shooting from Shimona Nelson. I'd be giving myself a round of applause too if I was doing that. Housby, cross court. Easy front ball to Aiken-George. Brown clearing the centre pass quickly. Back, Jovic, back to Brown. There Garvin is out of the circle.
Contact goal defence.
Very, very lucky to get away with that.
Wow, it was a flat ball, wasn't it? Turner just had her eyes down, didn't quite get to it.
Hadley to Smith.
You can see the intent from the Swifts on that second phase. They're really trying to drive nice and deep into the pockets to create some more space for their Smith and Turner to come into the attacking play too.
Hadley across court to Proud. Up they go again.
Contact on the arm keeper.
Aiken George, 3 from 3.
Breaking goal attack.
She wouldn't be happy with that.
Breaking call against Garvin. Housby. Keep an eye on Aiken George's arm. Very similar to what Shimona Nelson's doing down the other end of the court.
But what I love that Mentor's doing, she is confusing the space. She's off the body. The feeders don't know exactly where to place it. Let's have another look here. You can see Jiva Mentor just in backspace. Once we get down there, she's off the body. She's moving. You can see that. Oh, Razzle with the tip. So dominant in that defence position.
Brown, she's away. Those quick feet landing right on the edge.
Bunny's contact.
They look confident, don't they?
The Magpies. It's an impressive start. They lead the New South Wales Swifts by 2 here at John Cain Arena. It's a HCF tactical timeout. The New South Swifts have called it. It's probably no surprise. Just a chance to reset and regather their thoughts. Let's take a listen in to the New South Wales Swifts coach, Bryony Akel.
Space out in front, go and engage them to make Maddie Turner come to you and try and drag the 2v1 offer. Okay, great job there. Juva, good footwork around the body on that last one. You're just going with that arm now. Go with that arm. Off the line, so you've got to keep your feet moving. Just keep going and keep going out. Tell this one to stay on the line. Line on the line. It'll come. It'll come. You're reading it. Just a fraction of the timing's just a bit off. Alright, let's go. Yeah. Yeah, so it's just a line over. Yeah. Keep going. Good work. Let's go, girls. Out now. Yeah. Alright, so now we play our game. It looks like we're a bit stunned and stationary. Yeah. Must do the hard yards off the ball. Second, third efforts. Give it go. We're just throwing them one off and just waiting for you to get it. Yeah. You guys work together. Yeah. Let's go. Let's go. Oh, it's a switch. Do that more.
Well, there it is from Bryony Akel. She has demanded that the team stick to their game plan, second and third efforts. What she means by that is don't just give one offer. If you've given one offer, you haven't got the ball, go again. Keep offering, keep that momentum and that fluent movement in attack. Let's see if they can do it.
Jovic to get us underway for the Magpies. The team's eager to start the game again. Just over 8.5 minutes in the first.
Bunny's obstruction wing attack.
Brown, quick feet, double play from Jovic. Garvin
Contact goalkeeper.
push in the back from Clow. You would,
In the back.
Yeah, she did get called for it.
It looked like a big one,
Just in
It was
the
hard.
but it was a
where
shooter.
the goalkeeper is.
Garvin finishes it off. Let's cross over to Maddie Brown. What were the Magpies saying in their huddle?
Oh, Coach Richardson was really excited with that intensity and their ability to just attack that first ball, which has obviously been going against what the Swifts are trying to create down there. In attack, Garvin pulled Brown aside and said, let's go with backdoor on a few centre passes. She's finding Turner being a bit tight on her. She wants to get a bit more depth and do a bit more work in the circle. So watch that in the next couple of minutes.
Long ball over to Jovic. Risky pass, but it lands.
Bunny's goal. Swifts.
Contact in defence.
There's that 2-on-1 on the centre pass. Brazel out of play, releases the pressure and beautiful feed in from Proud to Romilda Aiken-George. Finding that depth really nicely.
Garvin pulls it in strongly. Plow and Turner
Throw in.
deflections
Swifts.
everywhere. And the Swifts back in possession.
Hold time.
You can see the Swifts fans. That's as many as that has come down from New South Wales. I can't see much more red in here.
They don't have a huge amount of support.
Contact goal centre.
Oh, great contest from Jovi.
Bunny's obstruction goal.
Spoke about pre-game how important Jovic is to this lineup. And isn't she showing it already in this first quarter?
She is, and you can see the connection between her and Brown. Every time they feed that ball in, they're high-fiving, they're bringing the energy. They're really setting the standard down in this attack end.
The Swifts bring it back to within one. They're in control. Hadley finds Housby easily, all on her own. Back to Hadley.
Collingwood gone from a wall to a box, and that's why Housby was free as a bird. Took advantage.
Dangerous to leave Housby on her own.
You can't be doing that. So they're going to come up to, they have to come up with a different plan B to get onto her pretty quickly in that second phase.
Scores are even.
Here's that backdoor play that Maddie Brown was talking about. And that beautiful long feed.
The Swifts with the last 3 goals. The Magpies through Shimona Nelson. They interrupt it. Oh, Jodie Ann Ward. She has phenomenal athleticism.
Gee, she's good. Just when you think that she's not going to get there, she has that closing speed of coming through 2 hands. She's clean. Gosh, she's impressive.
Magpies out by 2. Don't forget, the Power 5 will be in play come the last 5 minutes of each quarter. The Suncorp Super Shot. Everything within the white arc, the circle that you can see on your screen.
Contact
worth 2.
Subtraction. Outside the goal circle.
Brown, will she go up? Sorry, Jovic. Bit of confusion in the Swifts defensive end. Who's going to go up that ball and to allow that space for Nelson?
Yeah, it's an interesting one. You can see that the Magpies are moving. You can see Jodie Ann Ward, see G that come out, create that held ball out the front. There's just confusion everywhere. At the moment, I think Clow and Turner just need to work their angles a little bit better in that defensive circle. Housby doing her best efforts to get that ball back. But let's take another look here and see what they can come up with.
Garvin, quick 1-2 with Brazel. Jovic looks up. High hands of Ali Smith prevented that one, but the Magpies have options.
They do, and Garvin has really stood up in this first game at goal attack. We were unsure as to what we're going to get, especially with her injuries. There's that long ball, and well placed, well timed. She went around the body, she knew it wasn't on straight away, gave Nelson time to set up the other side.
The Swifts, can they do the same? They've upped the speed, they've upped the ante. It's 4 goals, the difference. We are in the Power 5. Brown to Brazel.
Here's that change of pace again. Let's switch it to the other side. Get someone out of play. Give ourselves a breather.
Contact win defence.
Smith, she's out of play.
And then fire one in.
Look straight to Nelson.
Just off the body on that one goalkeeper. Subtraction both players.
It's playing into the hands of the Magpies very nicely right now.
Well, the high road is definitely getting there. It was to see the Harvey Norman replay. Beautiful high release from Brown.
Molly Jovic on screen. 22.5 missing net points so far for Jovic. Just trailing behind Jodie Ann Ward.
Step back, goal attack, and step forward, keeper.
Housby for 2. Misses it, but the Magpies, they are in everything.
And look at this transition. The intent is clear. Get the ball out and get it moving quickly.
Goal attack.
And do it before the Swifts get to set up their defensive play.
But then look at this, change the timing of it. Go long, go wide. The angles are beautiful.
Brilliant play from the Collingwood Magpies. As you can see, the Swifts defenders, Maddie Turner and Sarah Clow, trying to get into the space. Oh, and Clow flies for that one. Positioning was spot on.
Yeah, you can see the footwork. She knew that she had to get in front, confuse that space. The ball was just not placed well enough.
Offside.
Cloud took advantage.
Centre, subtraction on the outside. Centre, the other side.
Resetting. Jovic taking her time. Balance from Garvin for our first Suncorp Super Shot of the season. Away quickly.
And take a look at the last 10 goals, B. 8 of them to the Magpies, 2 to the Swifts. So the Swifts will need to work on their centre pass conversion, that's for sure. Just win your own ball. That's all you need to do right now.
Magpies leading by 8. Aitken George for 2. Can't get it. The Magpies, a minute and a half left in the first. Brazel, Ward over the top. Too long, over a third from Brazel. She's got a smile on her face because I don't think she can quite believe it.
She just said, sorry, Joan.
Don't you hate when you do that?
Oh.
And just like that, the fumble between Proud and Hadley, you don't often see it.
Everyone's on top of each other, or they're too far away from each other. Here the Swifts, that steady setup and beautiful vision straight to the post. Lovely from Proud.
Jovic to Brown, easily out on the centre pass. Hands over from the Swifts. They're trying to prevent the long ball in. Will it go in anyway?
Well, this is a better lead up for the Swifts in the fact that they've been able to hold the Magpies up for at least 10 passes in that play. So you've been seeing the Magpies almost getting second phase into that depth in that pocket space. But right now, they're having to play the ball around, be patient. Can they do it for another 40, 50, 45 minutes?
100% shooting for Shimona Nelson. 15 from 15. Aitken George for 1. And what a performance from the home team, the Collingwood Magpies. In this first game of the season, they're leading now by 7. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back with the rest of the game right here on Fox Netball.
Very, like, just stuck in stepping. Yeah. Right? And that's for you guys to lift this up. Let's go. No, let's go. And we just keep the scoreboard away. We know that we put the pressure off the scoreboard. It's going to put the pressure back on there. Yeah. We've got this, guys. We let go. Ignore that. We go back to 0-0. And we finish play. Let's go, guys. Oh, sweat. Here we go.
Welcome back to Fox Netball. It's game 1, round 1. The Collingwood Magpies up against the New South Wales Swifts. The Magpies, huge start. You can not surprised that Bryony Akel took the Swifts to the side. They had a quiet conversation and a calm one.
Well, yeah, that Origin quarter time break was just incredible to listen in to Bryony Akel, but also the players. Maddie Proud going straight to Smith and saying, all right, now that Garvin's not sitting on the line, what do? We have to mix it up in that defence space. You can see that they've tactically thrown bibs in the air. Hadley's gone into setter, Proud back to wing attack, Fawn's into goal attack, and Housby back to shooter, so they completely changed the attack end. But what they've done now is try to shorten it up, bring that versatility into the game.
Let's see what the changes can make. There's no surprises, the Magpies. No changes to their lineup. As Jovic starts us off. Through Brown, they go back to Ward. Brazel flies through the midcourt. Across to Brown. Nelson, she's there. She wants it. Great feed from Garvin.
Gosh, that was smart. She looked to go to Jovic in the pocket, paid her attention directly to that goal post and straight into Nelson.
Stepping call against Sophie Fawns, and the Magpies are away.
Look at that transition. They've walked it out of the midcourt into the shooting circle. Got to be quicker on transition from the Swifts.
Good attempt from Ali Smith. But Brown in control. Quick 1-2 with Garvin. She wants it back.
With a keeper.
Penalty against Clout. Garvin for a second. Let's take a look at the Harvey Norman replay of this. Brown snatches out and gets on with it. Nicole Richardson will be so proud of their efforts so far.
So proud. Bryony Akel would be furious.
Up to Nelson. She snatches it in.
You can feel the confidence. You can see the confidence out there. They're backing each other in, and it's from everyone. Garvin last year didn't look like she was all that confident out there. This year, she's demanding space.
We've got more matchups to keep an eye on. Look at the combination there between Housby and Fawns. Opened up the space.
And they do have a great connection. They're able to move around the body. They can still do that holding shooter role really well.
Again, impressive take from Nelson.
And Cloud just getting stuck on the body.
Let's go across to Maddie Brown. What are you liking or loathing about the Swifts attack?
I'm actually not, it's not too bad to watch. I think they need to get back to their structures, as we heard Coach Akel talk to them about. But for me, I think it's about settling in with this shooting lineup. Obviously, when they get to that 2-point time, they're going to have to start to put that scoreboard pressure on. But they need to stay in the game. And what a big stat is that they're not scoring off is their centre pass. Only scoring off 56% of their centre passes. So that's what's going to keep them in the game before they get to the power time to go gangbusters on the 2-point shot.
We will keep an eye on that conversion. And we need to go back and have a look at what happened down that end, because Mentor threw Ward up in the air to defend the shot. Didn't quite go to plan. Everyone was laughing.
Coach Akel, what was that?
But no one's laughing down the Magpies attack end. They extend their lead out. It's 10 goals the difference. Oh, Jodie Ann Ward, she has come to play this season.
She sure has, and proud. That was a beautiful lead from her, but the placement just not there. Swifts win back this ball now. If they want to stay in this game for this quarter, they need to score off it.
Can you believe it? We're 10 goals the difference. We're 10 minutes into this quarter. Oh, sorry, we're 5 minutes into this quarter. Jodie Ann Ward, 2 intercepts, 3 deflections, and only 1 penalty so far.
Well, we saw her at Team Girls Cup. She was impressive, but she's gone up another level in this first quarter and in this second quarter.
Garvin takes the pass. Brown to Nelson. That connection is unbelievable.
Unbelievable, and no one's stopping that. I think Cloud did go and have a look outside the circle. I think that's her next plan B. She has to go and search for something else.
Smith to Fawns. What can the Swifts do? Oh, just that.
What a feed. And anything that Brown can do, Proud can do as well. So that's exactly what that connection needs to start building. See it long, bring it back short, change the timing, change the pace. But no one's stopping that at the moment. A bit of miscommunication between Smith and Paige Hadley on that centre pass. They're having a discussion in back play.
Not as confident for the Swifts to go over the Magpies defenders, but they work it through.
Oh, beautiful baseline cut from Housby. She saw it open up. Magpies playing a split circle.
Brazel. Ward backing up the defenders for the Magpies.
And this is better defence from the Swifts, holding them up.
The only option is to go over, and that gets dangerous. You can hear the voices of the defenders. You can hear the voices of the Magpies players.
Time out.
And the Magpies, they've halted play. There's 10 goals the difference, but they've called a HCF tactical timeout. Is this just a settler?
It is, it is. They were just going out by almost 12, and then they, the Swifts came back into it. So be interesting to see what Richardson has to say. I'm sure she's got about 5 different plays up her sleeve.
Let's take a listen.
You get over quick to that side. Or now looking for that second phase off Kels if we're not connected to Soph. And we want Molly to get over the line.
I'm going to ask Jiva to help me with Maddie's like this. So you come down and I'll use your other screen.
I reckon your start position, so when Maddie starts off the line, I wouldn't... indeed. When Maddie starts off the line, I wouldn't start as far back with her.
Okay, stay on the line.
Race. I would be given about that much room and just be like, if that's her here...
On the side or on the front?
Side. So if that's her, you're here. Right, so then she comes at you, you've still got a line to the ball, cut the baseline. Take the breather, suck it in, make sure we change it up. Let's go. Let's go. Pace on hot. Pace.
Well, Well, you heard it there from Nicole Richardson, straight to Brazil on how she can change up a few different things. They're looking at in attack, getting back that second phase as opposed to going deep, back to Brazil on the second phase. So we'll see that through the midcourt a little bit more. But have a look at Brazil just here on defence. She is sitting off the body a little bit more, allowing Proud a bit more space to run to her as opposed to that one-on-one.
Proud tries to break the middle. They find Fawns on the outside. Hadley looks across, Proud to Fawns.
But contact, centre
Good
advantage
baseline
offside.
work from the youngster in Sophie Fawns. 26 years old, 175 centimetres. She's certainly not one of the tallest shooters.
Magpies.
Jovic to Garvin. Garvin looks straight up in the air. Clow is so close.
She's so close, and if she just keeps working those angles, she's going to confuse the space eventually. When the feeders are feeding from that far off, there is that error that can come into play.
Always a game of persistence for the defenders.
Beautiful moves
contact goals
from
kick
the
back.
Swifts down this end. Proud and Housby on the double play. Saw the opening,
Magpies.
took it on. More of that from the New South Wales Swifts.
Garvin in the middle channel, creates the play, regathers. Shimona Nelson, 22 from 22. Cloud gets a tip on it. Mentor will get the replay of that coming up shortly. Jiva Mentor coming into the action. What can she do now? Housby and Fawns for one.
Vaughan starting confidently as we take a look at the Harvey Norman replay. Beautiful intercept from Jiva Mentor coming out nice and clean, 2 hands. Brown. Look at that speed. A little bit of a nudge on the outside.
All the Magpies players trying to make sure she stays onside.
But we've had a change in the back play here. Tegan O'Shaughnessy onto goal defence and Maddie Turner shifted to wing defence.
What do you expect O'Shaughnessy to bring?
Well, I think she just brings a little bit more height and a little bit more of the angles, the change up of the angles there. But Turner to wing defence is the arms. So that slows down the Magpies so they can't see in.
Let's go across the court to Maddie Brown. What are you liking at the moment?
Well, you're absolutely spot on about the Swiss defence. They have to get some hand on ball. They have not had enough gained possession. But for me, it's about that pressure, as you said, out the front. They've been wanting to hold up and slow the attack of the Magpies, shutting down that middle channel. Brian Ackles spoke about that at their timeout break. He just said, we need to have more pressures. We need to shut down and we need to start to hunt. So hopefully they'll start to do that because the attack end seems to be firing now. It's time to get some turnover ball for the Swifts.
Fawns. Such a high, almost technically perfect shot.
And I love what Fawns has brought to this game so far. She's really stood up. Now it's about exactly what Maddie Brown was just saying. They have to get ball because the attackers are doing their job. They're able to get through. And as we see Tegan O'Shaughnessy get her first tip in there too. She's been out for a long time this preseason, Tegan. She hasn't had a whole lot of court time, so she'll be itching to get out there.
The youngster as well, only 23 years old.
Goal defence.
Garvin, it's short.
And this is a win. The win they need here.
The Swifts
Whole time.
really need to make this count.
It's a throw in.
Bit of confusion.
Yeah, we can see a little bit in back play here that the Magpies have set up a zone. See Jodie Ann Ward and Brazil sitting nice and high in this centre third.
Clow to Turner. Through Fawns. They're trying to speed it up, the Swifts, to get it in there, but it's a wayward pass from Fawns. And the Magpies, they're all over it. The desperation on the Swifts' faces.
They're working overtime, B. They are. They're putting everything into it.
Ah, Clow!
There you see it.
To Can she go again? They've got the extra height with O'Shannessy in the circle, and it comes off for them. Hadley tries to slow the play. Here, Mentor in the background, guiding Ward over the shot, and they come up with the rebound. Ward. Garvin to Brown. Look at the rebounds. 5 to the Magpies, 0 to the Swifts. You can hear the siren. We are in the Power 5. Will the Swifts start to take some Suncorp super shots?
Well, we saw it in the last quarter as we see Housby go for one here.
Let's take a look at the net points too. Just on the screen, Jodie Ann Ward, absolutely no surprise as she is leading the way on 63. It's been incredible first half from the defender, and then Shimona Nelson at 49. Cloud just taking her time, really slowing down the pace.
Obstruction in centre third. Sorry, please.
Taylor Fraser
Advantage contact, win defence.
on the court for the Swifts in centre.
Contact, goal defence.
Paige Hadley taking a rest.
It's in the 2 players. In the 2. Goal defence, you're out of play. It's contact in the 2.
You can hear the umpire
There
saying
you are.
in the 2. Housby doesn't want it, goes for safe hands of Fawns. She misses. Ward, another rebound.
That's 6-0 at this stage.
Jovic straight up. That pass is so high and lands almost perfectly into the hands of Nelson.
And it's working for now as we go to a tactical timeout. It's working at the moment, but will the Swifts be able to change it up a little bit more so that they have to go short and change their game plan?
Let's take a listen into the Magpies. They've called a HCF tactical timeout. Nicole Richardson, I'm sure, will have a lot to say.
Time out just to break a little bit of momentum here. So I reckon we've got maybe 3.5 minutes where we're at. So smart in attack, yeah. So what we can look at doing is trying to starve them of possession. We still want to progress and not piss fart around with the ball, but understand that we can work the ball. So we need to make sure defenders, you're on the transverse line, ready to reset if we need to go again. Nice and strong on the hold. Let's work the ball a little closer to circle edge. Shimmy nice and strong. We can look around to vary, not always the back hold as well. If they bring 2 on you, just to push forward there. Make sure you're strong on your own rebound. Don't get pushed underneath the ropes. Yep. I reckon off their centre pass. Let's trap to make it through. Yeah, let's go.
Yeah, and we're playing. We play to win, we get the goals. Let's go.
Pass on one. Hot.
Let's go.
Well, you can hear it there. Nicole Richardson says that she wants her attackers to starve the New South Wales Swifts of possession here. So it's all about taking nice long time to get to the circle edge. No more long bombs in. Take your time and make them work for everything.
Let's go across to Maddie. What were you listening into, Maddie?
Well, it's actually quite an interesting change. They've brought Aiken George back onto the court at goal shooter, not known for her 2-point shots, but they want to obviously have that rebounding power, and they want to get Housby to just knock them up from anywhere. So getting George in there as a rebounder, but also being that strong focal point. Fawns was a little bit cold on the hand for a couple of minutes, so they wanted that change up.
And that's exactly what they could get. They can score so quickly through someone like Aiken George. As we know, the Magpies can through Nelson.
Yeah, and what we saw with Fawns coming on, she had beautiful confidence out the front, but when we needed to get those balls into the ring, as we see a risky ball to Proud at the top of the circle, a change over there with Magpies winning the ball, but it's a hard one, right? Because you need to be able to score those 2 points to get ahead, but if you're not scoring the ones, you're just left behind.
Distance obstruction.
9 goals, the difference. The Magpies leading the charge. Probably criticised for their slow starts last season, and haven't they proved their doubters wrong? Brown. Double play to Garvin. You might as well not call it because it's always going back to Brown.
Bit of confusion between Garvin and Brown, but it doesn't matter anyway. Straight to Nelson. I thought Richardson asked to starve possession. It still is, but just a little bit quicker.
The Swifts look shocked, don't they?
They do, and Ronnie Akel has tried a few different options to try and figure out how they can build momentum, but they haven't quite got there. And it's those angles that the defenders are creating from the Magpies that are confusing the space. The defense are having a great game.
Brown to Garvin, back to Brown. What a surprise. What can she do? She looks up, she finds Nelson. 29 goals at 100%. Look at this Harvey Norman replay as we see Proud swinging across. Ward deflecting it out of there.
Do we call it this early? Ward for MVP?
Oh, she's in phenomenal form. Jovic wants to go over. O'Shannessy in great position. Clow. Fraser to Clow, back again.
Contact, centre third.
Brown dominating attack. Why not have a go in defence?
Loving this pocket from Proud, and that's the angle that she wants to feed. Housby,
Great
super
shooting
shot.
from Helen Housby.
Pressured situation. We know she's a big game player. These are the times that she will lift.
Throw in.
They need Housby to lift.
Yes, we are.
She's got the accuracy. She just needs the volume. Can they get it to her? Ward comes out again. 76.5 missing net points for Jodie Ann Ward in the first half.
She's just incredible.
3 seconds to play.
Magpies, release the ball.
My goodness.
What a performance it's been from Jodie Ann Ward on your screens right there with Jiva Mentor. Not to mention the rest of the Magpies lineup. They're leading by 10 goals here after the first half at John Cain Arena. It's exciting. We knew round one was going to be special. We weren't sure what it was going to bring, but we knew the Magpies needed to start well to stay in touch with the Swifts, and they've done that.
Yeah, and this is their fortress. We know that. They love to win here. They've beat the Swifts here on many occasions. So what can they bring in this second half? Looking forward to it.
Well, let's cross down to Maddie Proud. Oh, sorry, Maddie Brown, who's with Maddie Proud.
Two Maddies, it's quite confusing, but Mads, a bit of a slow start to the first quarter, trailing obviously at half-time. There's been a bit of disconnect in the attack, and what do you put that down to?
Yeah, honestly, I don't know. I think that it kind of feels like, well, looks like we're back still in pre-season and we just haven't come to play. I think Collingwood came firing out of the blocks and it was almost like that shocked us, which it shouldn't have. So, yeah, I think we just need to go back to basics. I think there's been some patches of some really good stuff, but it's just stringing that together for more than 1 or 2 plays. So I think we're just being our own worst enemy at the moment.
And in defence, it's struggling to get some turnover ball. They've got 10 to your 3. How are you going to shut them down in that attack end?
Yeah, I think we just need to keep contesting first ball and not just leaving it down to Sez under the post or whoever's down there and keeper. So I think we probably need to put a bit more pressure on through the mid-court and just slow the ball down.
All the best for the second half, Mads. Good luck. Back to you, Bianca.
Thanks, Maddie. Well, we still have a second half of action still to come. We've got our halftime show coming up next. You're watching Game 1 and Jodie Ann Ward from the Magpies in fine form. But don't forget, after this, the grand final rematch over in the West. The West Coast Fever taking on the Melbourne Vixens. That one's going to be exciting. It's the Magpies leading the Swifts by 10.
Round 1 and a grand final rematch. You're welcome.
It is fever pitch here.
The West Coast Fever versus the Melbourne Vixens back in Perth. Fever captain Courtney Bruce, brutal defender.
Oh, Courtney Bruce again.
And coach Dan Ryan
Find the body and our first move is off their body.
won't leave anything to chance. They've got undoubtedly the best shooter in the world, shooting at a 97% average in 2022.
Oh, Janelle Fowler.
Did you miss us?
But the Vixens will be out for revenge. Bitter after falling short last year.
Is a sea of green.
Can Liz Watson's team find their X factor and set the tone for 2023? Watch it live and ad break free in 4K Ultra HD on Fox Sports.
You are watching round one of the Suncorp Super Netball 2023 season. We are here at John Cain Arena. The Magpies up against the Swifts, and the Magpies, what a start they have had. It's a 10-goal start. It's a 10-goal first half, and it's exactly how the Magpies, I'm sure, wanted to start off their season. We're going to go across to the Collingwood Magpies coach, Nicole Richardson. Richo, what a ferocious start.
Yeah, it's a great start, and that's something we're really trying to focus on in this season. We've always been slow starters in previous years and relied on the back end of the season. So it's really important to make sure we start strong and make a statement in round one.
Well, let's talk about Maddie Proud goes to a halftime interview and says, we don't even know what's happening in attack. So what are you loving about your defensive structures at the moment?
Oh, well, I love that she thinks that, so hopefully we can continue that in the second half. I think they're just being very smart with what they're able to do. You know, there's times where they're playing denying depth. They've got the opportunity to switch between the one-on-one and box, so I think they're doing a good job in varying their defensive structures.
Well, and touching on that defence end, Jodie Ward, my goodness, she's been good. What has been impressive about her season so far in pre-season and now for this first round?
I think what you've seen first up in the first half is what she's done throughout the whole pre-season. You know, she's winning ball for us, and the most important thing, she's staying in play. So, you know, when she does that, she's pretty tough to beat.
Well, I hope it's a bit enjoyable second half for you, Richo. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks, guys. Cheers.
Here we go. The Magpies start us off for the second half. They can't finish it off through Nelson this time, and the Swifts are back in attack. Fawns out to goal attack. She goes back out, not comfortable. We see Housby, a goal shooter.
Good start from the Swifts. Exactly what they needed. They needed to get that first intercept, find some structure and depth.
Take by Fawns. Jodie Ward in the right place at the right time. Mentor. Jovic. From Brown to Brazel. We haven't even spoken Mentor up enough, but for her, 38 years old, and she has come out to compete.
Well, and she's had all different shooters on her today already, and we're only at half time. So, you know, take your hat off to her, because she's really still been able to create that indecision on the feed in particular, as we see Brown, which would have worked in the first half, but they've just lost disconnect. But Jiva Mentor is just continuing to blow my socks off. It's incredible.
2 intercepts for Mentor, 2 deflections, sitting on 39.5, missing net points. Cloud at goal defence. Fawns at goal attack. What can the Swifts do? Can they create some momentum?
Well, there's a bit of confusion in that goal third. No one knowing who's actually going for the ball. Someone needs to just drive strong, and that's Fawns. She needs to take on the drive.
Ward, deflection, Mentor picks it up. It's a ferocious defence end, and Brazel we've not even spoken about, but the way she's creating those turnovers by the pressure she's putting on out the front with Jovic.
Well, and she's been impressive again. Every single one of the Magpies has been impressive, but this defence end in particular are working as a unit. You can just see how stifled the attack end, as we see the Harvey Norman replay. Jodie Ward getting her hands into it. Jiva Mentor straight onto it as well. It is a team effort down here.
Fawns hesitant on the feed to Hadley. Not confident. Housby just sneaks in. They needed that.
Cloud doing a great job there of just riding the body and then releasing last second. Ball goes over the line.
the Swifts. They're trying to move it forward. Can they move it forward? Everything is just happening for them. There's no confidence about the way they're doing it. Oh, and Ward and Jovic, they hustle their way to get the ball out of the air.
And look how quick that transition is. It just looks like the Magpies have all the time in the world. We can see in back play, Housby and Romelda Aiken-George doing the switch, but Magpies have time. They have space. They can start being creative now. They've done the hard work.
Look at this Harvey Norman replay. You've got Jovic covering the front. Ward behind, perfect backup position. Hadley, Aiken-George back on the court. $10 goals the difference. The steadier the Swifts needed. Remember, the taller defensive end from the Swifts. They've got Clow on, O'Shannessy, but they still can go over the top to Nelson.
Yeah, the high ball's still going there. They're still taking the high row, even though they have Turner out the front as well with the long arms. What I'm loving about Brown's game is that she's actually doing a lot of different moves, coming up the court a little bit higher. Brazel's coming down the court. They're changing their positional switches on that one. And a beautiful feed from Housby into Aiken-George. I think this is the combination they need to stick with. Fawn, to me, just doesn't look like she has all the confidence just in this last little bit.
There's been a lot of changes from the Swifts. Do you keep it like this? Do you make sure that you let the players on court grind it out and try and change it up?
I think so. I think at this stage you have to give them some sort of consistency to go by and let them play into the game a little bit more. We've seen a lot of changes, which is, I think, was necessary at the time to see if they could do something different. Nothing worked. So stick with these guys and let them play it out a little bit.
Let's go across to Maddie Brown. What are you noticing from the Swifts attack?
Well, they've gone with the experience down there, haven't they? They've brought their really experienced, calm heads. They should know what to do in this situation. For me, it's about their timing. They've either got two options to the ball, or they've only got one, or they're both going away. So Magpies are really shutting down that middle channel. Coach Barney Akel said, let's be us, be red, be proud, let's stick to our structures, and let's work on those give and goes. They need to connect, so I agree with Kimmy. We need to have that consistency in that attack end for them to do it.
Well, and even the Swifts just then, they were just a little bit too far off their player. They need to dictate, they need to hold up the play a little bit more to allow time to go and have a crack.
Hadley and Proud, Housby. They've got their experienced lineup in attack. Is it enough to change this up? Tap and regather from Aiken-George. That's what they need.
We've got a wall on a centre pass from the Swifts. Magpies do go back, so they've definitely allowed time now. They're into a box. See what opens up here.
Hard for the Magpies to go forward. They've got to go back. Brown, can she go over? Of course she can.
With her eyes closed. She's amazing. Just incredible. She's having an absolutely cracking match. Very smart, clinical match.
And it's the confidence. There's this aura of confidence with the Magpies that even when the Swifts are in possession, they don't look like they have it. They don't look like they want to take the drives. They don't look like they want to put the ball in.
Yeah, and we've only seen maybe 5 plays where they've able to actually have 2 people working at the same time and that they have that fluent attack. And that's credit to the defensive structures of this Magpies team. Here we see Brown again, wanting to get involved nice and high. O'Shannessy!
O'Shannessy, 1 intercept, 2 deflections. Minimal court time so far this game, but she needs to stay. Proud, urging her teammates, come, I need offers. I need more options. Proud, swings it quickly.
Yeah, step over, keep over, goal attack.
Housby steps across. Watch the Harvey Norman replay here as O'Shannessy is in front.
She's done couple of those in this game, and those are the ones that change momentum, and we can see Swifts have now just got a couple under their belt here. Proud, you can see the intent. She's looking straight at Romelda Aiken-George and feeding it in.
8 goals the difference.
Far side, yes.
Magpies.
Find construction with defence.
Garvin. Brown. Jovic, back to Brown.
I was just going to say, they're doing this box setup again, but not everyone's committing to it. So Turner was almost on a one-on-one. Hadley then was like, am I going on a one-on-one or am I still in the box? They have to all be aligned.
% shooting from Shimona Nelson. 37 from 37. Housby. Aiken-George. Sharper pass, but not confident under the post. And you hear the siren. It's the power 5 as we look at our Nissan net points. The leaders, Ward on 104. Nelson and Mentor closely behind. And the only 2 red is Housby and Proud.
Contact wing. Yes.
Brown lifts it high up and over the height of the Swiss defence end. Tegan O'Shaughnessy, 188 centimetres. Sarah Clow, 190 centimetres. But at the moment, it's not bothering Shimona Nelson, or the feeders for that matter.
Absolutely not. And they've worked on this. They've played against this. They know what to do now. It's about the Swifts trying to find something else to come up with. Tegan O'Shaughnessy's doing a great job. And I think if they keep grinding this out and make sure they dictate out the front, they can keep creating.
The footwork of O'Shaughnessy. She's having a go. She's going back. She's covering.
Contact centre.
The power 5. That was a Suncorp super shot from Sophie Garvin. Remember, every Suncorp super shot, $100 is donated from Suncorp to the Confident Girls Foundation. 10 goals the difference. Can Housby reduce it? She can. It's 9 goals the difference. Just under 4.5 minutes to play in the 3rd term. A mistake from the Magpies. The Swifts, they step up. Turner to Hadley. They're looking for their experience. They're looking for Hadley. They're looking for Proud.
It's hard work. It's a grind. Swifts are used to this, though. They are a good team at being able to grind out that attack end. But there really is only one option at the moment.
It's a Ward Aiken-George battle. There's a height difference. And Ward still manages to pull it in. The ball is on a magnet for her.
Says, are we going to a break and then coming back like we were going to do a quarter-time break for the interview?
Brazel to Brown. Up to Nelson. It's almost like the Magpies are showing the Swiss how it's done.
Oh, right on the baseline. Tiptoeing along it. Very impressive. This is where they're breaking down this transverse line. There's almost 3 passes before you can get into the goal third. They have to find a way of getting second phase depth.
Positional swap between Mentor and Ward. They don't mind the height mismatch, in the defensive end for the Magpies. It pays off for the Swifts, though. They find George under the post.
Magpies!
And the Swifts are right in it. They're only down by 8. And they haven't been able to get a flow in attack, and defensively haven't got much hand on ball.
That's what excites me about this last quarter coming up, Kimmy, is that anything can actually happen.
Absolutely, and the Swifts are a team that do not give up. So they are just going to keep going at it.
Garvin, 4 Suncorp super shots to her name. She had a stellar international season after probably what she would say was a disappointing Super Netball last year. But to see her come out, play that goal attack position that a lot of teams question probably whether she can do that for a whole game, and she's showing everyone she can.
Yeah, and to be honest, it was fair. It was a fair comment because she wasn't able to go out for a full game and be able to just still nail those super shots and still give those options. You can see she is fading a little bit in this quarter. The mid-court have to lift a little bit. But you'll see it will be really interesting to see what happens in this last quarter. She's still able to keep kicking on.
Housby. She returns serve down the other end of the court. It's 2 points for Helen Housby. The Swifts, they're catching. Plow over the top, Brazel. Hand in, but Hadley's strong.
Beautiful triangle straight into George. They're the angles they haven't been able to play with all game. We have not seen a triangle from the Swifts.
Hadley has not many options.
Not when Proud's on the floor.
Proud's on the floor. Look at the quarter breakdowns on your screen.
Yeah, you can see the shift in the Swifts on this quarter, 17 to 14.
Just over a minute in the last third quarter, the last of the third quarter, I should say. Jovic.
You can really feel this momentum shift at the moment. Can the Swifts finish off this third quarter really strong?
6 goals, the difference. Garvin for 2.
She says no thank you.
And when you're in the zone, why wouldn't you keep taking them?
That's right.
Garvin alone, $500 donated from Suncorp to the Confident Girls Foundation.
Whole time, centre, out of play.
Hadley, quick to Proud. They want another one. Aitken George. One's enough at this stage.
That's smart. Just take the ones right under the post.
7, the difference. Garvin looks up. Nelson, you can see she's ready. She wants it. To extend the lead. Oh, Sophie Garvin. The Magpies, they've put themselves back into that favourable lead that they have. They now lead the New South Wales Swifts by 9. Great turnaround for them. That's been the third quarter here at John Cain Arena. We have one more quarter to play in this round 1 clash between the Magpies and the Swifts.
Welcome back to John Cain Arena. I'm here with a very special guest, the captain of the Collingwood Magpies AFL team, Darcy Moore. Great win last night. How are you feeling pulling up at the netball today?
Pretty good, yeah, absolutely buzzing, obviously. It was a great night for the team, so the perfect way to start off the campaign, and looks like the netball girls are going a similar way, up by 11 at three-quarter time.
And what's impressed you about the team? I mean, you work alongside each other at the club. Can they go all the way? Is the Magpies double-double this year?
I think so. They're looking super connected. As you say, we work really closely, share a gym, share a facility, so they're looking really connected and really intense. A lot of them have come off, international caps in the last few months, and I think it really shows. They look really classy and really clean.
Well, all the best for your season, Darcy. Thanks for coming to the netball, and back over to you, Bianca.
Thanks, Maddie, and what an awesome performance from the Collingwood Magpies against the Geelong Footy Club last night. There's Craig McRae, the coach of the Collingwood team. Can you tell I'm a Magpies fan? Everyone was up and about to see them beat the Premiers. Anyway, back to the netball, because this game, anything could happen, but the Magpies have certainly showed they've come to play.
Well, I would have been interested to see what would have happened from both coaches in that Origin quarter-time break. I think Bryony Akel in particular will be searching for just that attacking prowess from these attackers here.
Hadley, back out to Clow. The Swifts, they keep... Oh, Mentor. She got 2 hands to it, I don't know how. But they're creating their own momentum. They're backing each other up. They're there for the deflections.
But even that pass beat, that is such a hard pass to give to Brazel down a sideline. She takes it with 2 hands easily. It's the confidence. It's hard to break.
Nelson to keep her perfect score sheet. What can the Swifts do?
Well, smart from Brown there, just getting underneath the body of Turner, causing that contact, releasing pressure just for a moment, changing the pace. Beautiful swing, and in it goes.
You've spoken about that a little bit, and as a former mid-quarter, Kim, can you explain why and how you do it? How do you get the penalty so that you can hold the play?
Wow, you can be a little bit sneaky and go play near an umpire and show them what the defenders are doing to you. But yeah, placing your body in a position to create that penalty is important. And it's all about having the smarts. And most mid-quarters have that capability. But sometimes when you're in the rat race as they are at the moment, the Swifts, you sometimes forget about that. And you're just trying to outrun all the time. But sometimes it's okay to prop on a body, just like Brown did. Boop, penalty, out of play. Did you like my whistle?
You're umpiring. What can't you do, Kimmy G?
Well, I can't shoot. Very bad.
They don't need to do that. Nelson. You can see a lot of conversation going on the court from the Swifts, trying to problem solve their way through it. That's what the coaches want to see. Akel, Nat Avellino, they want to see them try and get themselves out of this position.
Yeah, it's been an interesting one because the Swifts have actually gone away from what they do really well, which is getting to the top of the circle, keeping it short and sharp, working the triangles. We haven't seen that a whole lot. We saw it in the last quarter, but why aren't they trying to replicate that?
The pickups are what the Magpies are dominating. They are the first to any ball on the ground, and that goes a long way to creating the momentum. And so does that from Jovic, easily into Nelson. It is incredible from the Magpies attack. Let's take a look at the Harvey Norman replay.
And it's not even the high release on that one. That one almost came from the hip, but it's the confidence to give it early. You can throw them a little bit lower when it's early. When it has a little bit more time and defenders have got their hands up, that's when it becomes a bit difficult. Swifts have to get in front and have to get their hands over.
13 goals, the difference. Oh, Mentor sneaks around. You hear coaches say, use your outside arm. That's probably the only thing that she was at fault with her positioning. Taylor Fraser enters the game at wing attack. Maddie Proud to the bench. What will that change bring? Hadley in front position. She secures the ball. The Swifts, can they score?
Let's see if the Swifts can have a steady approach on this lead up. Try and find their groove a little bit more.
Hadley goes long to Fraser. Housby, they're not confident to go into Aiken George. Up they go, there they go. And one for Housby. Let's go across to Maddie Brown. You've played with Shimona Nelson. What are you liking about her performance?
Well, just looking at that replay from Aiken George, she's going up with one hand and she's coming off the hold a little bit compared to down the other end. We see Nelson holding really strong. I think she's dominated that today, making sure that once the ball is released and it's nice and high, it's above her head, that's when she comes off. So those feeders can just feed it from anywhere over the court because they know that she's not coming off and allowing the defenders any chance to intercept it.
And Matt, she's starting so high in the circle, giving herself plenty of space to play with. As a feeder, we both know how important that is for that release.
Absolutely. As you see, she's sitting up high, but she's holding strong. She's letting that body come to her, but she's also constantly changing and making that defender second guess to where they can maybe attack that ball.
Jovic to Brown. Oh, the Magpies cough up possession. They were doing so well to have that patience, but the Swifts, they get an opportunity.
Fraser caught up really high on that one. No one to play in that wing attack position. Gets herself down beautifully.
Up and over. It's not quite high enough. Aiken George did well to control.
Where you are? In the one, yes.
The Magpies, I wonder, they talk about pre-season. They didn't win a game in their pre-season. Anyone that they played, they had a couple of draws, they didn't win a game. They had a lot of injuries. It is actually such a great job from Nicole Richardson to get her team out on court and to be playing the way they are when she hasn't had a lot of them all pre-season.
Well, and it just goes to show what a solid lineup can do for a couple of years. It's not just about, you know, getting them out there and playing, but just because they know each other, they're familiar with one another, they're now starting to, you know, find their space. We have a look at Shimona Nelson and where she's shooting. Very even on the left and the middle, but a little bit lower on the right. If I'm Bryony Akel, I'm looking at that going, all right, let's shift her over. Shooting at 100%, mind you.
Yes.
But let's get her in a little bit more of an uncomfortable position.
Sit behind her as a defender to try and force her out of that circle as well. HCF tactical timeout has been called by the Magpies. Time to reset for both teams. If you were Bryony Akel, what would you be saying to your players?
Yeah, look, I would just be saying, let's try and get it to circle edge, try and find some depth, try and, you know, create some more triangles within that attack end. I think they're getting it there now. We weren't seeing that previously. They're really fumbling out the front. But yeah, that's what I was saying.
When you're playing off the circle between the two of you, I reckon you had a chance then, throw it to Kelsey, and then just drive the circle edge instead of running it around the back of her. Don't hang around too long, Soph. Don't hang around too long. If you feel like you're in the middle and they're not giving it to you, punch out on the 45 or get back in and also engage. Still eyes up for Shimmy. Okay, have the belief there to pull that ball up. Have coordination off the centre pass. One over, one start preparing second phase. What's our go-to centre pass right now? Yep, let's go, mate, let's go.
The players making the decision. What's our go-to centre pass? We haven't seen any changes from the Magpies.
Well, and it's very clear. You can hear Brazil. You can hear Brazil there just really demanding what they're going to do next. It's very clear from Richardson. And it just goes to show, if we have a look at the Nissan net points, match leaders here, Ward, of course.
Of course.
Up the top. But Housby and Hadley still sitting in amongst there. So there's still sparks from the Swifts that can really start to build in this last 8 minutes.
And Nissan net points, they're calculated and accrued during the actual game. So mistakes, you get points taken off. Positives, like intercepts, like O'Shannessy attempted then. Brown. Oh, Turner, she snatched it. Plough and O'Shannessy both got the buns. I don't blame you for the confusion. They've swapped positions. Hadley, Housby, Aitken George fighting the physical battle against Mentor in the circle. And a deflection, a pickup. The Magpies are away.
Well,
Ward.
it looks like they're just getting a little bit out-muscled in those contests in particular. Plough trying to build some momentum down here, but it is just been that, you know, the real hard contests, the Magpies are winning.
Magpies out by 9. You can feel the Swifts are trying, aren't they? They're trying different things. They certainly are not sitting thinking it's all over.
No, there's no lack of trying from the Swifts, but sometimes in a game, and you know this, B, as Jiva Mentor, another incredible intercept outside the circle, as you know, it can feel like mud, like you're just, you know, treading water for a moment, trying to get there, but you just can't. You can't find the formula to get there. So it's no lack of trying, it's just lack of cohesion.
Up and over they go. Mentor got the last one. Aitken George gets this one. Let's have a look at the Harvey Norman replay. That deflection from Mentor, and then here she comes flying out. Her third intercept for the game.
Dare I say this is the best I've seen Jiva Mentor play in a long time.
She looks fit, she looks strong, and she looks like she's not carrying any injuries.
Yeah.
Fraser, Housby. Hadley, oh sorry, Housby to Aitken George.
Inside.
Just off the edge of the ring, but Aiken George up for the rebound. The ball being very slowly recouped from Jovic. We haven't seen any fighting out of the ring either, have we?
No. A few throwing the balls into feet, which we know is another tactic. Come on, Bianca. You're a goalkeeper.
I used to love it. Jovic puts Brazel in the right place to take the ball down quickly.
The composure from Brazel to keep that in and then release to one of her teammates.
Last season, the Magpies didn't seem as comfortable resetting and having to go back. They just wanted to go forward. Different team this year.
Well, and it's interesting because a lot of the conversation, the language around Nicole Richardson is like, you know, stifle the attack, like allow them to have space, like don't just have to like, you know, bang it in all the time, go back, change the timing. The language is strong.
There it is, the siren for the Power 5. The Suncorp super shot is in play from this position. Nelson opts for one. But if the Swifts, if they're going to make up for this lead the Magpies have, it's going to be now.
They need to believe that they can do it. 9 is not that much in the super power time. So they really need to just keep having a crack, keep going to post, getting to the top of the circle. Romelda needs to have a shot.
Hadley, Housby, can she do it for 2? Oh, yes, she can.
Here we go, showtime.
Here we go, the 7 goals, keeping these teams apart. Just over 4 minutes in the final quarter. Round 1, game 1. Magpies have been in control all game. The Swifts, they have the centre pass. Fraser turns back, double plays. Hadley tries to go long. They're finding it hard. Aiken George all on her own. Look at that.
Well, it's only the 1 lead from the Swifts each time.
Back out they go. They want to. Aiken George back out to Hadley. I get the feeling they want it in Housby's hands.
Oh, Romelda Aiken George. You know, Collingwood was sitting back just then going, no, you haven't. Go on, go have a try. And then she goes and does that.
She's like, I'll show you.
6 in it. Come on.
Brazel. Across court. Dangerous pass. But it comes off the Magpies. The black and white, up they go. 1 for Nelson. There's 7 goals in it, Kimmy G. Maddie Proud, the co-captain of the Swifts, is back out onto court. Turner. Hip and shouldered out of the way, Fraser, as she took that drive from Brazel. Brazel will stand beside her. Housby for 2. Can they do it? Double defended. Out rebound. Both the defenders, Helen Housby.
Outside the goal circle, it's obstruction with defence. Yeah, outside.
Cheeky from Brazel. Outside the circle. Again, the double team on Housby.
And this is where you've got to be careful playing it around. Okay, Housby again. Suncorp super shot. She nails it. We have a game on our hands.
Timeout, Magpies.
And no surprises. There's a HCF tactical timeout called by the Magpies. You think you can see, you can feel there's just a little bit of just worry or concern that the Swifts might get in there and nail a few of those Suncorp super shots, a few more, and then they could be in trouble. Let's take a listen to Bryony Acorn and Nat Avellino from the New South Wales Swifts.
Let them work it so that you can see that change of direction. The Samutis are trying to keep you out as well. Alrighty? Yeah. So then in defence, we need to flood this middle to help these guys out. So straight away, wing attack and goal attack, we are flooding straight away. We are taking up space, using our voice, alright? Our centre pass, we need quick shots, right? It doesn't mean we make poor decisions. It just means we've got to do the work off the ball to go correct. No fluffing around here. All right,
Housby, Suncorp, super shot. Look at that. 6 from 8 in the power 5 from Helen Housby. And that's exactly what the New South Wales Swifts needed. 5 goals, the difference.
And we know Housby loves these situations. So keep an eye on that for the next 2 minutes. Flooding on the centre pass, as Bryony Akel asked.
She wants the middle channel blocked. Make them go wide, help out the defenders. You heard her say that in the huddle. Oh, Jovic's just got some backup. Great pressure from the team in red. They're making it harder. Up and over the top, the Magpies. And in the very capable hands of Shimona Nelson. 51 goals at 100%.
So impressive.
Fraser, Aitken-George for 2. She gives it up. They find Housby. Top of the circle. It's a contact call against Ward.
Hold time. Can we have a towel, please?
Okay, there's a minute 15 to go in the final quarter.
It's beside the goal shooter.
Aitken-George will have an attempt or pass it out for 2. What do the Swifts need to do? How can they prevent any more goals from the Magpies?
Yeah, they need to set something up right here, right now. I love how Housby had the ball in her hand, quickly gave it to Aitken-George. No, you need to pass it to me. Here it is, just here.
Advantage offside, centre.
Back out they go.
They need to give it and get moving really quickly.
Housby. She misses. George tries to keep it in, but the Magpies, they regain possession. This is a tough position to be in, not just for the Swifts, but to the Magpies, to control this composure. The pressure is on.
Beside the goalkeeper. Beside the goalkeeper. Yes.
45 seconds. Ward to Brown. Brown's up high.
You can see the calm in Brown. When she has ball in hand, she's like, I've got all the time in the world. Just calm down a moment. Here we go again. No, let's go back. Right back.
Right back. Dangerously back sometimes. But Brazel takes it forward through Garvin. The Swiss defenders, they're trying everything they can. Garvin for 2. Strong hands. Brilliant take from Shimona Nelson. 52 goals at 100%. We've got 5 seconds on the clock. The Magpies, can they get another one? What a game for the Collingwood Magpies.
And a penalty under the post.
Can they extend their lead? From 7 to an 8-goal win against the New South Wales Swifts. Round 1, Kim Green and the Magpies have come to play. A very impressive performance from every single player out on the court.
Yeah, and it was a real grinding match. You saw that the Magpies were able to get out to a 7-goal first quarter lead, and then they held on pretty much for the rest of the game. As much as the Swifts didn't look like their usual self, they should take a little bit of positives out of the fact that they only lost that one by 8 when they lost the first quarter by 7.
As you see the teams in the huddle, the crowd, the Magpies, another win under their belt for their club. How exhausting is round 1? When they finally get to the end of this game, you can see it on all of their faces. Such a positive performance from the Magpies. Every single player playing their role. Mentor ended up 84 Nissan net points. Jodie Ann Ward, 127.5. And let's go down to Maddie Brown with our player of the match.
I am. I'm here with Jodie Ann Ward. 9 games. You were everywhere. We were super impressed, Jodes. How good is it to get a win in round 1?
I think we were just excited to get on court. Long pre-season, we couldn't wait for it to be over with. So yeah, first game out with a win, great.
Well, I think they're all excited to go sing the team song. Congratulations, a great start to the season. We look forward to what you'll bring for the rest.
Thanks, Matt.
Back to you, Bianca.
Thanks, Maddie. Well, make sure you stay with us. We have our post-game show coming up next and a grand final rematch also still to come tonight. Don't go anywhere. Well, it was an 8-goal win from the Collingwood Magpies. Look at their goal shooter, Shimona Nelson. Incredible performance from her. They are very happy to start off the 2023 Suncorp Super Netball season with a win. Kim, Maddie, what a brilliant performance by the Magpies. I'm almost blown away with just how ferocious they were from start to finish.
Yeah, and we expected that. We know the stats say that they win here and they win against the Swifts. And once again, they've proven that they can do it once again in 2023.
But what a great round one start. I mean, if that's where they're starting, where can they go?
Let's break down the stats to see where there was a difference between the two teams, because it's really hard to pick, isn't it? The Swifts had the effort.
They definitely did, but Magpies shooting at 94%. But the gains is where they won it, 15-8 to the Magpies. So Swifts have a little bit of work to do. Only 8 gains for a game, it's not a lot.
And one of the biggest stats that they were really failing at was their centre pass conversion. You're getting half of the ball, you've got to convert it. So when you can, if you're getting limited gains and you're not getting much extra ball, you've got to convert on those centre passes, and they were just really low on that stat today.
And obviously it is round one. There's plenty to work on for both teams. But when we take a look at the Magpies, a player that stands out to me is a Sophie Garvin. She was heavily criticised last season for how she played the game at goal attack. It wasn't her preferred position. But then you look at the way she played, she supported Nelson. She added a lot to the attack end.
Yeah, she definitely did. And like you said, people have been talking the fact that she can't play out a whole game. Well, here you go.
Yeah.
I can, and I can sit in that super shot period and absolutely nail it. And she was able to bring so much confidence to Shimona, especially out the front there. And I just love what she did today.
Well, you look at it, they've got 2 really strong shooting options in there. Magpies have struggled in the super shot time, but I think they've found a little bit of an answer there. She was confident to turn, so maybe the calf injury has helped her shooting accuracy on the 2-point shot.
What is in that water?
Win-win.
All right, and then I want to go down the defence end. We know our player of the match was Jodie Ann Ward. Jiva Mentor, Ash Brazel, weren't they just a strength down there to help Ward go and find the ball?
Well, we didn't speak much of Brazel all game, but she had 4 different wing attacks, I think, out there. So she was fantastic. But the work that she does out the front with Jovic then allows Ward to go and have a look somewhere else, but also Mentor the time to get around the body and actually go and have a crack at something too. So, yeah, it was a defensive unit. They were solid as a rock.
Yeah.
And the Swifts, like we heard Maddie Proud say at halftime, she had no idea what to do.
Yeah, you talk about that unity in that defence end, and they've played nearly 3 or 4 seasons now, and you can see it starting to shine through for that defensive end for the Magpies.
Well, Maddie and Kim, it's been great to show game 1 with you, but it's time for game 2, the grand final rematch over in the West. It's now time to join Catherine Cox, Sue Gordian, and Josie Jans Dawson.